A couple of years ago, Intuit, which is the company that makes QuickBooks, acquired a company called Mailchimp, which is an email marketing company. Now, that happened in 2021, and when that happened, QuickBooks already had this base of small business customers, right? And what else could they potentially offer those customers? Well, a lot of those customers want to grow. Maybe it makes sense to have something to fuel their marketing and potentially their sales as well. So they kind of acquired Mailchimp, and the idea was that they were going to be able to offer this and then help their clients who are using their other small business products grow. I have been kind of thinking about that over the past couple years and kind of wondering really when we're going to see that in the actual QuickBooks Online platform. And I wanted to show you guys, we're going to hop into QuickBooks Online and I'm going to show you what that looks like, because I've always thought, is QuickBooks coming after the CRM, the customer relationship management tools? Like, are they going to kind of come up with their own CRM? So this video is all about, is there now a CRM in QuickBooks Online? And potentially maybe, is this a new direction that Intuit is going? So hopefully this is going to be really interesting to you. And these are the types of videos we do here on the Financial Tech Lab channel, where we're going to look at financial technology, see if it's going to be helpful, see if it's not. And in this video, we're specifically seeing if Intuit is coming after your CRM. So if that sounds interesting, please stay tuned. And if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe now. All right, so if you happen to watch one of my QuickBooks overview videos, you will see that this is kind of the home screen when you first hop into QuickBooks Online. So I've created a fake company, and this is kind of my demo account that I'm going to be doing lots of videos on this channel with. But they've got this new kind of app called Customers here, right in the middle. So right here, now down here on the side, on the left, if you scroll all the way down, there is something called Marketing. And this is that Mailchimp service that they provide. So this is going to be your typical email marketing. Okay. So you can always add that on. These little diamonds mean that you're going to add on. So the customer hub actually up here in the kind of regular QuickBooks up here, the customer hub is different actually than that marketing, that extra marketing add-on. So that's what I was originally thinking they were going to do. They were going to acquire Mailchimp and then maybe roll that in to potentially a type of CRM or something. But right now it doesn't look like those marketing contacts are showing up in this customer hub. So that might be important for you if you're trying to think about like if this is a potential CRM solution for you. Customer hub. I would say that let's just kind of go through these, because when I did the overview, I went really high level and I hadn't really even totally looked into this yet. But this time I've actually started to give it a look, try to understand it, used it a little bit to figure out how they're thinking about all this. And I found some things for you. So that's the whole thing about Financial Tech Lab, is I'm literally playing around with things. I'm experimenting. I am testing things and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So I kind of want to find the breaking points too. So let's just start with the overview. Okay, so Customer Hub overview. This is kind of what they're showing as close as I can get to as a pipeline if you're thinking about traditional CRM tools. So they have open leads, open estimates, open contracts. So this kind of contract thing is new. Estimates have been in QuickBooks for a really long time. Contracts is kind of new. In progress projects, unpaid invoices, and reviews. So this is interesting. Their whole pipeline here is going all the way from open leads all the way to getting reviews. Now they have this new feature to actually capture customer feedback and showcase those testimonials. So that's kind of interesting. We will look at that in a second, but I still want to kind of look at this. So we have these open leads, and then we've got what else here? Like work requests, referrals, and then reviews and testimonials, like we talked about, overdue invoices. Okay, so at first glance, I'm looking at this and I'm going, this isn't really looking like a CRM to me, because I'm seeing leads. Okay, that's good. I like to see leads. So let's go ahead and look at leads. But this pipeline doesn't make a ton of logical sense for me. The issue that I have with this kind of customer funnel is we've got leads and then very quickly into projects. Now, I don't know about your sales pipeline, but like I have different stages in the sales process, and moving people through those stages is very important. And this is just too simple for me. So, and there's not really any way to customize this. This is just like as is. So I don't love that. Let's go ahead and look at the leads area though, and let's see if there's any additional detail here. Now, a lead is going to be just kind of simply if you are, talking with somebody potentially about doing work with them, or you maybe went out and found some leads, like maybe they don't know that you're trying to work with them, but you have maybe paid for a list, or maybe you did some cold research and you found some companies that you want to work with. Those could be potentially called leads. So we have more leads than who will actually turn into customers, right? In this, we basically just want to populate and have a lot of leads in here. So you can add leads in a couple different ways. It says you can import leads directly from your inbox. You can sync with your Gmail and Outlook. I haven't tried doing this. My guess is that I have way more contacts than who I would actually want to have leads in here. So I would probably not recommend doing that unless you're just communicating with leads all the time. So you can add a lead just manually, like, hey, I did some research and I found somebody and I'm adding it here. Now, I would say a lot of the popular CRM tools are going to give you more ways to add leads into your system. So maybe you can connect to your LinkedIn account. Maybe you can use a kind of a nice research tool to be able to search for the types of clients that you want to work with, and you can add those leads into your system. Or maybe like we work with Pipedrive, and they give us the option to put a form on our website. So when somebody fills out the contact form, it goes and populates into our leads section of our CRM. Now, so far, nothing is here. So I find this very not helpful to have to manually enter in every single lead that I potentially talk to. So don't love that. Now let's see if there's a bulk import. So they do have an import lead. So if you want to have a spreadsheet, they're giving you a sample CSV. So, obviously it's going to have the information of that person. You can map the fields and then upload. That means you would have had to have those leads already accumulated somewhere else, and then to be able to put them in here. Now, I will say, just to give Intuit a little bit of a break, is that this does say it's in beta. So because it's in beta, they're working on it. Maybe they'll watch this video. Maybe they'll get a little bit of feedback and they'll make it better. So leads, little clunky, how to get information in here, okay? Now, I've already added a lead down here, and I've added Jim Hopper. And when I added him, we can put the status, hot, warm, cold. Cold's gonna be that person that doesn't even know you exist yet. Warm is gonna be maybe somebody you've had some touch points with, and hot is somebody who you are actively engaging with, right? And you can determine what those stages are. And then this is interesting because it has a stage here where you can say where in the sales process is your lead. This is where I have seen how to use leads in a different CRM. Again, we use Pipedrive. And once somebody is not a lead, they go into our sales pipeline. So it's kind of interesting that this is combining leads and the sales pipeline together. So in Pipedrive, you're a lead until you actually engage in part of the sales process, and then you're in the sales pipeline. So you're actively in the sales pipeline. It's kind of two separate lists almost. You can't be still on the leads list and be in the negotiation phase, okay? So I think that's a little bit more accurate than what's being tracked here. Now, one thing that I was thinking, I was like, well, if I'm in the negotiation phase, then how do I send this person a quote? So I went over here into the carrot and I was like, okay, how do I create an estimate for this? Because, there's over here on the left-hand side is estimates and proposals. So if I'm going to create an estimate, or maybe I'm going to what would be a quote in other ways, or I'm going to kind of start that negotiation, the sales process with a potential customer, I would think that I should be able to create a quote or something directly from this lead status. So if I'm in negotiation, that means I've already talked to the customer. Maybe I've given them something, they're coming back and we're talking. This does not allow us to do that. So we have to make somebody a customer before we can create an estimate for them. So do you see how potentially that doesn't make any sense? This is another thing that I'm kind of griping about. QuickBooks, you're watching, listen to this, because it doesn't make sense to be creating, I mean, you can create estimates for customers you already have and you've been working with, but if you're going to also use that same language and terminology and app and module for the leads, like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, I would think that it would be nice to give a proposal to somebody in my sales pipeline, and I should be able to do that directly from here. And then maybe I could track like, okay, proposal has been delivered or proposal has been sent. That might be a different stage. I also really like when a CRM gives you the option to adjust your sales stages in your pipeline. And again, you can't do that. You can't edit that here. I looked in the settings, there's no way to edit that. So I have to basically go and make this not customer a customer now. I have to add him as a customer. All this information is here. If I go into estimates now and I create an estimate, the database that this is pulling from is just customers. So I don't have the option to go and pull a lead. Now I just made Jim Hopper a customer, so now I can put him in here and I can go ahead and estimate some work. Let's just do some ad hoc consulting, and let's say it's 5 hours of consulting. And I'm gonna go ahead and save this estimate, okay? Now, if I take this out and I go back to my leads, he's still here, but he's also a customer, which kind of doesn't make a lot of sense because you want to be kind of in one grouping or another. So I have a problem with that. Now, if anybody else sees it another way, feel free to make a comment. I am not a sales expert. I am not a CRM expert. I just know from what I've used, I could see how that would be confusing. Wait, he's a lead? Like, because we might do marketing specifically to our leads, which is different than our customers. Now, it is nice that you can put things in different buckets: inquiry, discovery, negotiation one. I do have a client right now that needs kind of a light level of tracking, of a sense of what's outstanding, how many estimates she's made, potentially like what's in the pipeline. And I think I will try this with her just to see if it makes sense. I think it's going to be still not quite what we need. But if I had a bunch of things here, because what I would want to see too is I would want to see like, okay, I've got all these potential, estimates, for example. At least here I could see them all listed out and we could maybe make some decisions based on that. Like if I did this too, I think, do we have like a potential, we have an estimated date and then an expiration date. Okay, those things are kind of helpful. All right, well, I kind of like that. I'm just thinking about this one client and that this may be something we could use, maybe not. So if you're doing heavy sales, I don't think this is gonna be a solution for you right now. Now, if you love this and you're using it, I would love to hear, so please put comments in the comment section below. Two things that are kind of new. So QuickBooks Online has always had estimates like I talked about. Now proposals are new. So I thought this was interesting. This is also in beta. So if I went up here to go create a proposal, let's say I created that estimate for Jim, and then I want to create a proposal for him. Now they already have kind of just some text blocks here. It looks like we could send that over. Now, if I wanted to add an element, this is just design. This is really similar to like building out an email that has like different pieces and you kind of block it together. You're probably going to be doing this in a different system, and then you could pull it over here and drop it into your QuickBooks if you want to track it here, okay? And then this is what the client would get, a proposal. So I suppose you could heavily edit that document that we were just looking at, and then you could send it to them. If you want to track it all here, I guess that's kind of nice too. It would probably show up here in the overview of how many. No, it has open contracts. It doesn't even have open estimates. So see, this is another problem. Like I have 2 proposals listed here. Now I haven't sent them, but there's no option here. So estimates and proposals are disjointed as well. So they're not the same thing. And then contracts, this is also a newer thing. Here we are with new again. I'm just gonna keep adding my same. Now, interestingly, I can create a contract with a lead, but I can't create an estimate for a lead. Okay, that's interesting. If I go back to estimates and I create an estimate, nope, just has customer, doesn't have lead. Interesting. Intuit, of course, you guys, they're not charging us yet for this. So if all of this starts working, this is going to be probably paid in the like higher tiers. So just, something to watch out for. Okay. So contracts, let's say we're making a contract with a gym, and we upload, maybe our scope of work, then we can send this for signature. So it is nice that they're going to have some e-signature in here. That is something that people typically pay a different service for. So something that might be helpful in the future. I don't think this is doing enough for me right now to try to move anything over here. Now they also have this thing called appointments, which is in beta. I went through this process to actually try to schedule an appointment, and they had like video call. So if I did it, invite a contact to schedule with a video call, and I'm gonna try to schedule with Jim, and I could say, let's get a call. And I send an invite. I sent one of these to myself and I didn't get a sense. It maybe just wasn't working for whatever reason, but I think beta is a good way to keep this right now, because I'm not seeing really the benefit of using this. Again, not seeing it. Okay. And then on the end, there is, get customer feedback. So post invoice feedback survey. Ask your customers to indicate whether they would work with you again within a specific time frame. Okay. That might be good for certain types of businesses, like an electrician or plumber or something like that. Ask for a review. This is really good. I like the idea of having this. We actually went through the process of looking for a what's called a Net Promoter Score software, where we could send periodically a email out to clients that just is like that on a scale of 1 to 10. How likely are you to recommend us, basically? And we want to get that because Net Promoter Score is like one of our KPIs. So this, although it doesn't look like it's very customizable because it's just 1 to 5 stars. Interesting. Okay. Oops. Next. Close. Okay. And then we could potentially ask for a referral. I don't mind this. So limit the frequency of the survey once every 90 days after a customer has submitted a survey. Changes to the survey questions will not affect the 90-day interval. Okay. So you can turn these things on. I think this is an interesting idea, and because QuickBooks should have access to when you're invoicing, then it makes sense for them to maybe have that ability to gather the feedback because they have that trigger. I like the idea of this. I just wish it was more customizable. Like if I'm going to pay for it, it needs to be customizable, because right now this is not compelling enough for me to really do anything here. Okay, so here's reviews. I don't see any way to do any customization right now. We can't customize the text going out. We can't customize the scale if we want to do it on 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. So I would say that's an opportunity for QuickBooks. Okay, so that is the Customer Hub. Is it going to replace your CRM? My guess is no. Okay. And, I would watch out for this area of Intuit. I think it's probably some place that they're going to start putting a little bit more effort into. Maybe this video will be helpful as I think about some of those things. But overall, QuickBooks is not yet ready to take over your CRM. So keep with whatever is working for you right now. And if this video was helpful and there's other parts of another software that you're curious about and you want somebody to test it out for you, please let me know what those are. Put them in the comments below. That's what Financial Tech Lab is all about, to ultimately help you make better decisions about your financial software. All right. Well, if it was helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and I will see you in the next video.